The House passing the defense policy bill authorizing a record $901 billion in annual military spending. This paves the way for the must-pass measure to become law for the 65th straight year. The bill includes the Fight China Act, which aims to restrict American investments into companies connected with the Chinese Communist Party. It also includes other sensitive technologies of adversarial nations. The Senate takes up the bill today at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Joining me now are the lawmakers who spearheaded the measure, Kentucky Congressman Andy Barr and Texas Senator John Cornyn. Great to see you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here together.
Good morning.
Good to be with you.
Senator, how will this fly in the Senate today?
Should pass with overwhelmingly. This is a strong bipartisan bill. Amidst all the polarization we have here in Washington, D.C. and the difficulty of getting things done, the National Defense Authorization Act has been one bright spot of bipartisan cooperation dealing with national security. So I expect it to pass with significant majorities.
And Congressman, you worked with House Republican leadership to make sure that the provisions that we discussed were included. Tell us about those provisions and what's most important in this bill.
Yes, and let me credit Senator Cornyn, too. He's been dogged in his advocacy on this issue to make sure that the Fight China Act was included in the Senate version. But the bottom line is U.S. investors continue to be the primary source of global investment capital into the technology sectors in China that are at the heart of the U.S.-China economic competition. And Americans are unknowingly, in many cases, in their passive portfolio investments, funding the Chinese military-industrial complex. We seek to end that with the Fight China Act. There are many tools of economic statecraft available to the president, including tariffs, including export controls, including the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, which screens inbound investment. But what he hasn't had is an outbound investment screening tool. We're giving that to him, and in fact, we're codifying President Trump's America First investment policy with this legislation, which will stop the flow of capital and know-how into these sensitive technologies that threaten our national security.
Yeah, and this is a really important point that you make, Congressman, because as you know, we talk about China and the Communist Party's behavior every day, all day. And I want to get your take on the policy toward China. Senator, weigh in here, because I think President Trump has a lot of levers to pull. You know, what you're talking about in terms of outward investment, this is important. We've got so many Chinese companies that trade on our exchanges. They're on, Pentagon lists. They're on blacklists, and yet they're still trading on our exchanges, and ordinary investors are buying those companies, those stocks, and in effect, funding the expansion of our number one adversary. President Trump doesn't talk about pulling those economic levers to hurt China, even as China is, holding back rare earth magnets to companies that are, tied to the U.S. military. Although yesterday Scott Besson told us no, they're flowing. The rare earths are flowing. What other things can the president pull? What other levers can the president pull to make China stick to the rules and not undermine the United States through everything it does every day, like surveillance and buying land and, undermining the United States, intellectual property theft, etc.?
Well, Maria, this has been decades in the making, and China has basically attracted all the manufacturing in the world to that country because they are the low-cost producer. And big companies like Apple, Tesla, and others have helped to train the workforce there. And what's different about China is what they call the military-civilian fusion law,
right,
which requires even the private sector, so-called private sector, they have to share their knowledge, their IP, everything, their data with the People's Liberation Army. And China and the PLA are the single biggest threat to world peace in the coming months and years. President Xi has said he wants the People's Liberation Army to be prepared to take Taiwan by 2027. And so, as Congressman Barr has pointed out, we are American investment there, and it's largely opaque to the policymakers, is funding the economic development and the rearming of the Chinese military which is a threat to national security.
Yeah, I mean, was it not a dereliction of duty by your colleagues on the left, the Democrats, who for 10 years made up this crazy story of Trump colluding with Russia all the time, when in fact it was China that was eating our lunch? Was it not a dereliction of duty to have China produce such important things for America, like 90% of the components in our prescription drugs?
Yeah, as I said, this has been decades in the making, and they've still got some levers to use against us. You ask about the tools available to President Trump, and he's taking advantage of those, and certainly Secretary of Defense and others have been engaged in those negotiations. But when 90% of the rare earth elements are processed in China and are necessary for everything with an off and on switch,
that's
an electric motor, they've got us where they want us, and we got to get out of that situation.
I mean, I'm so happy to see you both, aligning on this. Let me ask you about aligning on health care, because the House is set to vote on another Republican health care proposal today, Congressman. Tensions are boiling over this expiring Obamacare subsidies, and the GOP plan doesn't include any extension of subsidies, but it does include reform on pharmacy benefit managers, provides funding for cost-sharing reduction payments, makes changes to health savings accounts. What are your expectations for this in the House today?
Well, I applaud the Speaker. I mean, if you think about the government shutdown, it was largely just a Democratic temper tantrum over the failure of their signature health care law. What we found out was that Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, is in fact unaffordable. So what we shouldn't be doing is continuing the policies of subsidizing premium inflation. In fact, if you look at the inflation of Americans' health care premiums since the passage of the Affordable Care Act, the Obamacare law, 60% premium inflation greater in the exchanges versus in the employer-sponsored system. Now, there's inflation everywhere, but what we need to lower costs for Americans is real competition and choice, a patient-centered healthcare system, not just more subsidies on a broken system. So what House Republicans are endeavoring to do today is to break up that system, give patients more choice, give the tax credits to the patient, to the American people, and let them choose.
Yeah.
The health insurance plan that works best for them.
Well, thank you to you both for coming up with this plan. Senator, are you not worried about your colleagues on the left shutting down the government again at the end of January if they don't get their way on these subsidies extending?
Yeah, it was a temper tantrum. I agree with that characterization, and it solved nothing. And what we're trying to avoid now in the Senate is to pass appropriations bills that will allow us to fund the government for the rest of the fiscal year, and avoid another shutdown at the end of January. But Chuck Schumer's in a tight spot because his own political base is trying to get rid of him, and he's fighting back and using everything he can muster, including shutdowns.
That's incredible. Well, we so appreciate your work, both of you. Thank you so much, Don Cornyn, Andy Barr. Thanks for being here this morning. We needed a lot more time to talk about health care and defense. I hope you'll both come back soon so that we can continue the conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, gentlemen. Andy Barr and John Cornyn. We'll be right back.